So a little bit of bad news for Xbox fans and probably for Microsoft themselves. It always seems like Microsoft is often a day late and a dollar short, and that tends to happen to companies sometimes, right? Like Microsoft tends to either be too early with what they're trying to do or too late. There doesn't seem to really be any in between type of areas, and that's sort of a shame. I mean, yeah, like there have been times when they've been kind of right on the nose, clearly, if you look at it. So if you kind of want to look at what they did with the original Xbox, obviously including a hard drive with that right out of the gate and an Ethernet port for only Ethernet, that was brilliant. Xbox 360, some more brilliant things they did there. They did like achievements and made the console that much better in terms of being able to do things other than gaming. And props to them. They were able to kind of accomplish the things that they wanted to accomplish, and they've had some really cool things. And then they were obviously a little bit too early with the things that they wanted to do with Xbox One, and even some of the stuff that they're trying to do currently. It's pretty kind of easy to see that they are a little bit too early with that stuff, and it's not really something that that fans are too welcome with, or whatever the case may be. So again, it's sort of strange, but I want to get into this because I feel like it's a very interesting topic and something to really get into with all these kind of stuff. So I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. I really do hope that you guys enjoy the videos and things like that. For me anyway, you guys have been pretty awesome. If you guys are looking for a person that does daily content, that's me. I try to do as much as possible, and I try to be as fun and entertaining as possible as well. Now, listen, a lot of us are talking hardware. A lot of us are interested in the new hardware and stuff like that, and rightfully so. We realistically we have a lot of these different kind of ideas of what we want to see. Microsoft clearly is going to do another something. We're not sure, is it going to be a hybrid PC? In my opinion, if they do some kind of PC thing, that's basically just giving up on what they were trying to do in the first place, unfortunately. So but again, there's going to be something portable. Hopefully it's a actual portable Xbox, and I think that could be something that would be interesting, just from having like a Game Pass and things like that. But you have to be able to take your library with you, right? Like your library right now would have to be able to go on that, and that's just how it would have to be. You know what I mean? You can't not have your library with you. It can't be one of these Windows PCs or whatever the case may be. Now, the problem is that PlayStation is supposedly working on a new portable that's capable of playing PS5 games. So you may have already heard there's a rumor that Sony is working on 2 new pieces of hardware, the inevitable PlayStation 6 and a new portable platform capable of natively playing your PS5 library. While the latter certainly sounds like pie in the sky, it's actually a story with credibility. Various well-connected individuals, included Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson and even Digital Foundry, have all mentioned that they're similar things. The nature of the device remains a little unclear, however. Writing on one forum, hardware snoopster Kepler, who was among the first to mention the development of the handheld, said that the device is powerful enough to run PS5 games, just not at the same resolution or frame rate, mainly due to lower memory bandwidth. Sony's obviously had a lot of success with the PlayStation Portal, which has seemingly emboldened its decision to make a new handheld as well. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to sort of see how these things kind of come about or whatever. But the thing is, right, so this was very interesting. Because this story goes back a little bit. The original story is that Sony was currently in the early stages of development of an all-new handheld PlayStation device that would allow users to play PS5 games on the go. A report from Bloomberg claims sources speaking to the outlet under anonymity said that the device is likely years away from release, and it warned it may never actually make it to market. Working a lot like a Steam Deck, such a device would let you download and natively play PS5 titles, either from a library tied to your existing PSN or one you set up for the handheld system itself as a potential new customer. This would mark a change in approach from Sony when it comes to portable devices, as its previous efforts, the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita, both had their own library of games designed specifically for the console. The recent PlayStation Portable device saw the firm return to the space in a sense, but it didn't go all the way, instead letting buyers stream their games over the internet rather than downloading them. This rumored console would fill the latter. The product is aimed at expanding Sony's reach and contending with Nintendo for the portable gaming market. According to people familiar with its development over the, again, we've seen this kind of stuff happening and being talked about a little bit more in terms of being able to kind of play, their games and things like that, which I think is, important. There's been a lot of kind of things that, gamers have wanted to be able to play their games and things like that. It would definitely behoove Sony to kind of go out there and make sure that, people can get out there and talk about this stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, very interesting. The other thing is, when you're looking at what like Tom Henderson said, he says, I didn't think of reporting on this yet because it seemed obvious, but yeah, PlayStation is in the early stages of developing a native PlayStation 5 handheld. Development started following the PlayStation Portal's release, which surpassed Sony's expectations. So again, we're kind of living in this weird world where that's happening. But why is this bad for Xbox? Well, anything that, whenever Microsoft does something, like let's say they do a handheld, maybe they would have been, you're already competing against the Nintendo Switch 2. So now you'll be competing against, a PlayStation thing as well. So people that might think, oh, well, there's PlayStation, maybe we'll go with a PlayStation or something along those lines. And that's something that I feel like, Sony has that too. I know like Game Pass, they don't have exactly Game Pass, but the PlayStation Plus tiers and the PlayStation things are not bad at all. They've got very good library. I mean, yeah, they aren't getting day one games or anything like that, but we are starting to see a situation where they are getting, they have a tremendous library of stuff. So, you have to kind of look into that as well. While we look at what they're kind of actively doing, it just seems like whatever PlayStation does is going to outdo, is really going to outdo what Xbox is trying to do. So that's definitely something that I think all of us have to kind of look into and just kind of take with a grain of salt so far. You know what I mean? Because I do think that Microsoft and Sony are kind of doing two separate things. But if they're both doing a handheld like that, and it's just one of those things, they kind of comes to a head. I really believe that Microsoft is rushing even the Windows thing that they're doing because they want to kind of go out there and beat the Steam Deck thing, you know what I mean, like the Steam OS. I feel like they feel a little bit threatened by that, and so they're going to go out there and try and beat that. That's going to be a tough thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe it or not, that is like a very tough thing to kind of go out there and accomplish. So you've got pressure from Steam. They're trying to fight Steam. You've got pressure from Nintendo. You've got pressure from Sony, and all the while you've got to worry because people are you're helping these other platforms. That's the tough part. If you're Microsoft, right? So you're selling your best games on these other platforms, actually helping them out, and how do you rectify that situation? That makes your platform less desirable because they're going to be able to have your stuff and their stuff, right? I think that is the big issue kind of going forward. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about this stuff? Do you think Xbox is screwed if Sony does a handheld? I mean, I think that Sony could capture quite a bit of the market if they did things right. But we'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer.